today we have three very interesting startups pitching their current status and their product as well. Let me jump through, the agenda. So we will talk briefly about BFG, who we are, who the event organizers are. Then we will jump right into the startup pitches, and also who are in this call pitching and also judging. The whole event will go roughly, I would say, 40 minutes. This is me. I am today moderating, partly also with Melissa, my colleague. If you are interested in connecting with any of the startups, feel free to reach out, of course, directly to the startups. But if you're interested in BFG and also in us, then feel free to contact me with any matter. This is those are the people behind Blockchain Founders Group. Here, the core team members, myself, Zhongchan also in the call, Melissa, Albert, and Elias also from the core team. In the background, we have quite a strong executive team consisting of serial entrepreneurs, people with successful exits, people from the government designing the jurisdiction in Liechtenstein here, for example, Martina and Thomas Dünser, and of course, some people from business and entrepreneurship. So today we will see three startups, Datash, EkoLance, and Signa X. Quite broad in topics. They will have the chance to introduce themselves within 7 minutes. We will also have a follow-on of 3 minutes of Q&A, where the judges here in this call will have the chance to ask challenging questions. So today, the judges here, Benjamin and Sandro Stark, Benjamin from Blockrocket, an early stage VC, and Sandro also from an early stage VC. Maybe Benjamin and Sandro, you can, very briefly say a few words to yourself so that people can and have heard you. Benjamin, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah, pleasure to introduce. Thanks for the invite. Pleasure to be here tonight, this morning. So my name is Benjamin. I'm from Blockrocket. We're an early stage VC for Web3 startups. We are based in Germany, but we invest globally. Ticket sizes are around 100 to 300K. We invest in pre-seed and seed. So that means that 90% of the companies we invest in are pre-product market fit. So we take a heavy bet on use cases being built for Web3 as we speak, and of course, on the founding teams behind it.
Perfect.
And Sandro.
I continue. I'm Sandro Stark, founder of Cryptofinance.vc. In the last 4 months, we invested over 500,000 euros in early stage startups, also in the range of 50 to 150K. We look for great teams that also build enabling technologies to onboard the next billion users into Web3. And I'm really thrilled to see new teams pitching here today. Looking forward, and good luck, all the best to everyone.
Thank you, Sandro. Thank you, Benjamin. So, you see, we have investors in this call. We have people, just interested in the space, but also we have investors. So anyone, and we will also have these pitching events on a monthly basis. So if you are interested to see interesting teams and get to know potential investors, then feel free to subscribe to our news channels, to our social medias, because we will then disclose when we will have these events going on. Judging criteria. So of course, we're always interested to judge in a systematic way. So here we are looking at 5 criteria. Usually market potential is quite interesting next to product track record, and also regulatory analysis. And of course, lastly, founding teams. So these are the things that we primarily look at. But next to these criteria, we also have a lot of other things that we look at. So I don't want to steal any more time. That's why I want to hand over to Justus Schleicher, who is currently the project lead for Datash.
Thank you, Max. Let me just share my screen here real quick. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Right. Then good morning from me again as well. I'm Justus. I'm happy to pitch you our project Datash, which we have been working on since last year, and are looking to intensify the project and go full time. So Datash is a Frankfurt-based one-stop shop for NFT data analytics and data extraction, displayed in an interactive dashboard and NFT portfolio overview. So we're trying to strip out most of the complexity by supplying a codeless solution that is completely based on graphical input, and you can customize your own dashboards and keep track of all the NFT collections, or even your own project that you want to. Our team includes an experience in software development and various IT consulting, and we also have a functional alpha version that is already live and is being tested. Our mission is to make NFT analytics simple and accessible for individuals and brands. And also our vision is to enable data-driven business decisions for future products in the NFT space. So we're going to dive into the market later on, but obviously a lot of cases haven't even been developed that could use NFT technology, right? So the team consists of Andreas Wissel and myself. We both have a background in software development, having started out both our careers there, and then myself continued into IT consulting, having joined KPMG doing data analytics, and later on joining the Frankfurt School Blockchain Center, intensifying my interest in cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. And that also laid the foundation for the idea of Datash, where it all grew. For Andreas, he basically continued the route of software development and IT consulting all the way through until he joined the project as well. And we also have a advisor, which is Christian Flassoff, who is just in an advisory role in that project. So what are we actually trying to solve? Where's the problem? First of all, easily analyzing aggregated data for NFT contracts can be complicated, and most solutions that do enable you to analyze some aspects of it aren't focused around creators. And obviously, in my opinion, the whole creator scene is going to be the most important one, because they need to track their projects, just like we've seen in Web 2 with social media. Companies are looking, where are we going to hit our marketing funnel? What are the relevant channels? And I see a future where we're just seeing the same exact thing on Web3. And also, there is no solution to build NFT contracts in a guided and visual manner that is also including utility. So there is contract builders around, but they're mainly focused on digital art and are not really utilizing the aspects of NFTs that can be around authenticity, ownership, and all that. And last but not least, companies in the traditional world that might have a already running business case are struggling to migrate their business on Web3 by using NFTs. So our solution is to extract on and off-chain data into a database, decode and transform it into a standardized format. So we don't really care where the data is coming from. We're just putting it in that universal data format, which is also making it comparable between chains and marketplaces. Then the data can be consumed in our dashboard and can be analyzed. And further on, we will also integrate with our other modules within the Datash SaaS platform to make data actionable. So the whole value chain essentially is extracting data from NFT marketplaces and blockchains, which is going into our database, which in itself is going to be interesting, just having the data, then providing analytics, and in turn creating value for our customers. So our key features are being a one-stop shop for NFTs. So we're trying to focus just on NFTs, but everything NFTs. As mentioned before, we are going to, or we already have multiple blockchain platforms in our data source. We have an easy-to-use codeless interface and a robust and universal data lakehouse. In the future, we're going to look into minting service and consulting, so supporting businesses trying to migrate to Web3. Having the business insights module, and especially gaming, in my opinion, is a very up-and-coming sector in the NFT space that is hardly overlooked. So to put that in a little graphic, The gray area is going to be future features, but we can already do our data API and provide a financial KPI dashboard or custom analysis for analyzing and trading. And I've also brought a few screenshots and short clips of our working alpha version. So here you can see the overview dashboard for our flow chain analysis. And we also showcased a little bit our custom query builder. So with that, you can completely customize your queries. No strings attached. You can analyze whatever you feel like, even change the chart type, and then add the whole graphic to your custom dashboard, and yeah, just creating your own analysis. Oops. So for our less technical users that are not too much into data analysis, we also have a wizard. So depending on the track you're coming from, whether it be trading, content creation, or a brand, you're going to be guided to sensible analysis as well. And our second data source that we have implemented right now is OpenSea. So with our OpenSea analysis, you can check out collections, check for rarity, snipe an item, check for trading history, and all that kind of stuff. So why do we think this is relevant? The market, just recently, McKinsey published a report estimating up to 4 or 5 trillion US dollars market within the metaverse. So that number alone is a pretty hefty number. And we also see 2 million traders on OpenSea. Obviously, the whole NFT digital art trading volume went down around April and March pretty hard. Which also leads me to the next point, that use cases beyond apes is where the real magic lies. So I think we only scratched the surface with digital art. But topics like identification, authenticity, ownership, and especially gaming are up and coming and will dominate the NFT space in 2 to 3 years, in my opinion. So from a technological standpoint, it's a pretty straightforward setup. It's extracting the data from our various APIs. So right now that's Flowchain and OpenSea, but we can attach any data source that we want pretty much because we have that whole model already set up. Then we're utilizing AWS for several cloud services, easy to use and database, and store all that data in our Postgres data lake, which then is serving via our own Node.js API, our app in the front end. The idea is that, yes.
Thank you for your presentation. I'll just give you 30 seconds to wrap up, and then we'll just proceed to Q&A. Thank you.
Okay, let me just quickly jump to the last 2 slides. So our business model is going to be a subscription model with the pricing ranging from individual to commercial plans, and especially targeting the B2B and help create a market by assisting projects with their NFT business models. And our roadmap is going to increase the reach within NFT communities and commercial parties looking to get into the space. We're looking for seed funding in Q4 this year, and we're trying to extend our team once funding is secured. Thank you for your attention, and I'm open for questions.
Perfect. Justus, thank you very much. Really exciting area that you chose, and super fast growing market with a lot of intransparencies involved. So definitely love the topic and the market you chose. For me, one question that I would have is how would you like tackle the go-to-market? So where do you start approaching the first customers to gain traction?
Yeah, so the idea is, I mean, it's a little tricky because the market right now is mainly focused around digital art, and all the trading is happening there. And there isn't much enterprise use cases. So the idea is to tackle the market by supplying analysis for individuals and traders, and just get ourselves out there, and then try and create the market with partners that are probably already having a running business case and want to merge that on Web3. And we've had several talks of companies that are doing exactly that or are looking to do exactly that.
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe from my side, what I would find interesting is how does the competitive landscape look like? Because on first glance, it would seem to me there must be like a variety of companies who are already active in this business, but they're all covering like a little bit different use cases or different approaches. So who comes closest to what you're trying to build at the moment? And maybe as a follow-up, what are like the top one or top two features if you would have to prioritize that you're building that you think make the difference?
Right. Yeah, I was taking a little too long, so I skipped the competition slide. So the main competition I would say is Nansen, Dune, and DebRadar. Dune, the problem that I see with Dune, I'm a technical guy, and they require you to write SQL or use community-based dashboards. So what you see is that the community-based dashboards lack in quality, or they're very customized to one person because they built the dashboard, they understand it, but someone else might not be. And with Nansen, you have very limited capabilities. So you don't have custom analysis, and yeah, you're kind of limited in what you can actually analyze. And the second part of the question was which feature I would prioritize, which I'm super excited about, right?
Yes, maybe also in regards to defensibility. So, you know, looking at companies who have like $50, $100 million plus funding already, and they have a lot of firepower in store. So yeah, in regards to that with features,
yeah, I would say the most important feature is providing analysis for existing use cases. So a lot of projects that are looking into merging onto NFTs, they're usually around authenticity or ownership. And those two use cases, especially ownership, there's a bunch of use cases that all are going to imply their own secondary market. And once you have a secondary market, analysis is interesting. So the idea would be to mainly focus on companies and helping them move to NFTs and then partner up with them, supplying them with analysis and integrating that with their product or service or marketplace.
Do we still have time for one more question?
Yeah, go for it.
Since the data is publicly available, you might hear people saying, okay, why should I pay for a product that just uses open data? How would you counter that argument?
Well, I would counter most of information is public, but just having the information, I mean, the whole blockchain is public, but can you analyze and aggregate data for an NFT easily? So, I mean, there's a lot of transformation and I mean, obviously everything in IT can be copied with enough money and effort, but yeah, it would take definitely some time and building a whole infrastructure. I mean, we've put plenty of time in that from end of last year. So yeah, I mean, obviously everything can be copied in IT, but it wouldn't be that easy.
Maybe one more from my side, like who are you like mostly talking to, or who have you been talking to the last 6 months? So also regarding Sandro's question regarding go-to-market, when you make it more concrete for users, like did you have like a list of users you're already in talks with? Based on their feedback, you also iterate the features that you're building at the moment, and who would these users be? Like if you would have to put them into a segment.
So our alpha testing is from various industries, and we actually looked out for that. So we have people from the financial space, we have people within the blockchain space, we have active NFT traders, and yeah, we're iterating our product based on their feedback.
All right, that'll be all the time we have for questions for Datash today. We can move on to the next startup, EkoLance. I'll just spotlight Modupe so that we can start the next presentation.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Modupe, and I'm one of the co-founders of EkoLance. And so Maria is coming on next. Hi, Maria.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria. I'm the other co-founder of EkoLance. And at EkoLance, we help professionals start working in blockchain. So our product is an educational and recruitment platform for professionals that want to start working in the blockchain space. What we do is we offer educational programs, both for technical and for non-technical blockchain professions. And the talents that we educate are people from emerging economies. And this is one of the most differentiating factors about us. Our talent pool comes from emerging countries. We have trained over 150 professionals so far. We have over 1,200 professionals that have applied for training with us. And we have matched over 20 people for potential jobs. Our revenue model is subscription-based, and we also get money from companies for each placement that we do. We get an annual percentage of the salary. The market that we estimate our business has is $14.6 billion US, and it has a market growth of 40% per quarter. The problem that we identified is that there is a huge demand in talent in the blockchain space. Why is this? Well, as you can see in the graph here, the funding in the blockchain space has been increasing in the past couple of years. I know that currently we're crypto winter and that funding is less. However, while looking in the past 2 years, you can see that there is a large increase in funding. So what do companies do with this funding? Of course, they want to expand their teams. They're looking for blockchain professionals to work for their companies. And also the growth in blockchain jobs on Glassdoor alone for 2021 increased with 300%. But the main problem for companies to hire blockchain professionals is that most people are self-taught. There are not like proper programs or universities that train for particular blockchain jobs. So, and most people that are trained from their homes, from YouTube, Udemy, or whatever, they don't have certification and they don't have the experience. So this is one of the big problems for people when they want to start working in blockchain. And also, there are not enough opportunities for professionals from emerging countries to get involved with blockchain companies that are looking for people. So the EkoLance solution are two things. We offer a scalable educational solution where we train thousands of people in very specific blockchain professions, such as Solidity developers, content creators, and community managers for blockchain companies. And we offer recruitment on demand for companies that want to hire blockchain professionals. That means that the companies can come to us, tell us what they're looking for, what skills they're looking for, and we offer them the perfect match. So, as I already told you, we have already over 1,000 people that have applied for our services. We have accepted for training 450 people, or over 450 people. 150 have graduated. We have an applicants' monthly growth of 30%, and around 10% of these people that graduate find jobs during training or immediately after training. And how does the placement to jobs really work? So first, the client specifies a criteria, so specifies what kind of employee they're looking for a certain position. We have data on our talent pool because we're educating them, so we have a lot of data points about them. And then we match the perfect candidates from what the client, with the data of the client and with the data of the talents that we have. And the client gets a match report with the perfect candidates for this position, and he can then choose who to hire or start the recruitment process. What we have achieved, I already told you about the numbers, but then maybe I'll tell you also about what are the most demanded professions that we discovered and the programs that we started. We have a blockchain community manager program that had over 550 applications, blockchain content creator program that we're launching in a few weeks that had over 450 applications, and the Solidity developer program that has over 250 applications. We have proven quality of education because the developers that we're educating, they're participating in hackathons and they already won one hackathon. The community managers that we're educating have created multiple blockchain communities with thousands of members, also thousands of subscribers for YouTube channels, Discord channels, Telegram groups. We have worked with large, medium-sized, and also small blockchain companies. One of the big ones are Blockdemon, Anchor, Yield Guild Games with X Infinity. They have participated in training our talents. And we have received funding from the Blockchain Founders Group. The way we earn money is from the blockchain companies. Training with us is for free. So everyone that wants to participate in our training programs, this is for free for the participants because we want to offer educational inclusion. We're getting paid from the companies that want to recruit from our talent pool. So one way we earn money is through sponsorships. We have a sponsorship fee for companies that want to participate in our training programs. By participating in these training programs, they get two things. First, they have early access to our talent pool. And second, they can run hackathons, small hackathons, where our talent does specific tasks for them. And these tasks are a win-win situation because the sponsor gets something out of it and the talent get work experience and bounties. The second revenue we have is the job board. We have an internal job board where companies can populate their job offers and they can recruit talent in this way. Talent can apply for these jobs. And we also have the get matched option, which I already described, where companies define certain parameters and we match them to talent from our talent pool. We call ourselves ESG startup or a sustainable startup because we contribute to at least 4 of the sustainable development goals. We're both female founders and we're mothers, and we offer educational and financial inclusion for people from emerging economies. We are a very diverse team. I come from a financial services background. I've worked with financial services companies for more than 8 years. I was consulting them in different technology topics. I'm also founder of the blockchain experts community Ledger Nation, and I'm on the board of directors of the Global Blockchain Women Alliance. Modupe, my co-founder, is a learning and development professional with over 12 years of experience. She's a certified cryptocurrency compliance specialist, and she's on the board of multiple blockchain organizations and the African lead of multiple blockchain organizations in Africa. And we also have Paul on our team, who is a blockchain developer and the lead trainer for our Solidity training program. Thank you very much. And yeah, now I'm open for questions.
Maybe I start this one. Thanks a lot for your pitch. Super interesting topic. I really like this area of education because, especially in context of metaverse and the trends that it triggered the last 2 years of us having these Zoom calls instead of having physical meetups, because I know from my own experience, it makes the global market much more competitive. Everyone has a much better and fairer chance to participate. And as long as people perform and as long as they have talents, they can come from anywhere. I think this is definitely the future we are moving towards to. So it's definitely great timing to build products in these markets. The key question that I would like to start with is similar to start with before. It's about the competitive landscape, because the way I understand it, or I would put it on first glance, is that you're probably competing to some extent, be it direct or indirect, with the big education platforms. First ones that would come to mind for me in this case especially would be Udacity, because they also hand out degrees. I know they also have a blockchain program. I think they have quite a good hiring rate of people who actually complete the nano degrees on Udacity, and they also do it in cooperation with like big tech since years already. So how do you look at this market? Who do you see as your main competitor, and how do you look at, for example, Udacity or like other players in this market at the moment?
Okay, so you're right. There are multiple companies that offer education for blockchain. However, we have to differentiate here what kind of education. So most companies offer very generalistic education. So let's say, what are cryptocurrencies? What are NFTs? We offer very specific education. It's more like an apprenticeship. So imagine coming to us, then you get trained for a very specific profession. Let's say you get trained to become content creator for a blockchain company. We haven't seen any other company does that. The other differentiator is that we offer practical experience during this training. So you directly start working with companies that are participating in our programs. That's why we call it an apprenticeship. And you get money, you get bounties if you work for these companies. The other differentiator is that we are offering this for free. Many of the educational providers offer paid programs, and I know many people subscribe for these programs. There are also good programs out there, but our target market are people from emerging economies who cannot afford this. And that's why the talent pool that we have, they're amazing people, amazing experts, but they could not afford to pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for a blockchain program. So these are the main differentiators that we have. Let me summarize. First, we offer very targeted for specific professions education. It is combined with work experience, contacting the companies directly working for them, and it's free.
Perfect. Thank you, Maria and Modupe. A really great solution that you're building, and a wonderful topic that you chose. One question that came to my mind is, how do you make sure you create high quality content when you scale? So when you're growing bigger, that you keep on producing cutting edge, high quality training programs for everyone.
So the training programs that we're always organizing them in cooperation with experts. So for every training program that we are developing, we're working with experts from this industry and on this topic. Again, let me take the example of the content creators. We're working with people that are already content creators in the blockchain space, and they are the lecturers during our training programs. They come and give something back to the community because they're already successful in their job. They come and teach our students. And this is how we create content. It's very scalable because we work with industry experts and they produce this content. It's again a win-win situation because they get access to our very large community of students. They get publicity on our social media channels. They do something good because they share their knowledge. And of course, we get amazing content, up-to-date content from people that are working this job already.
Perfect. Thank you very much. One last follow-on question. What does EkoLance stand for, the name, and how did you come up with it?
Okay, so Eko it means to learn. In the Nigerian language Yoruba, it means to learn. So what we decided to do was to put together that word and then another word, lance, because at first we're thinking about building a freelancing platform. And so we combined both names, learning and freelancing, and called it EkoLance.
Loving it. Thank you. Cool.
Thank you.
I have
Thank
one
you so
last
much.
question. I have, is there room for one more question from my side?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
What I would ask next me is, how about the scalability? Because I think something that we often observe in the market is that there's often like strong, like viable business cases, but sometimes the question is it more an agency business, or is it really like a SaaS or like a scalability business, you know, with a 10x, 50x, 100x? How do you look at this? So like if you imagine, you know, like you have 10 times the demands, 10 times the amount of customers, 10 times the amount of applications, and you look at your current workflow with your colleagues, like what's your best standpoint on this at the moment that you actually see this as something that can be scalable, 10x, 50, 100x the next 2 years, best case, without you having to hire like maybe hundreds and hundreds of people, because there might be some more manual task related to that. What's your stand on this?
Okay, so our processes currently are mostly manual because we haven't invested much in IT. However, with an IT solution, we can scale most of the functions. We already have like a list of IT functions that we need to build in order to scale. Maybe if I can split them into sections. First of all, we'll have the member section where everyone that is training with us will create automated profiles. So everyone will be able to create their own profile, edit it. So we'll always have an up-to-date talent section. The next portion is the matching mechanism, where clients can also create a profile with their inputs and with their requirements, and then have a backend to match the talent to the client requirements, and an automated solution to give these reports. So also like a dashboard for the matches. This is the next portion. And then the last portion is the content portion, the educational content portion, which could be done as an LMS. And All these things we're working on, so currently on the member section, but these are IT solutions that will make everything very scalable in the future.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. We'll just move on to the next and final startup, Signa X, who are ready to come on and present now.
Thank you, Melissa. Just sharing my screen. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. I hope you can see the presentation. Okay. Okay. Cool. So just in a single line, what Signa X is doing is we are building metaverse infrastructure for the next billion users. More on this will be uncovered in the later parts of the presentation. Quick introduction of our team. Adhikar, my co-founder, comes from the world of finance, technology, and innovation. He's done his master's in digital innovation at the LSE, where he studied blockchain and other emerging technologies, which becomes a sound foundation for the venture that we're building. He's an alumnus of the London School of Economics, and so am I. I come from the world of startups and innovation, where I've always looked at taking new technologies to market, helping startups launch their businesses, and scale their innovations. My exposure to the current startup has been through my role at Meta, where I was heading the startup and developer programs, primarily responsible for engaging with startups in the immersive reality or the AR/VR space, where I used to work with a lot of game developers and designers. And putting our combined knowledge together, we've identified an opportunity, what we call as Signa X. In terms of the opportunity that we are looking at is the fact that metaverse is going to be the next $1 trillion opportunity. That's something that people have spoken about. Of course, there's they talk about different numbers, but primarily what we are saying is the future of work and interaction and community is going to be in a virtual world kind of an environment, what we call as the metaverse. People are going to be there, for their entertainment, for their education, for even virtual healthcare to some extent. I think this is the big opportunity that we see, and there's a lot of ecosystem that needs to be developed in order for the metaverse to come out as a really immersive virtual world. Even brands are now launching into the metaverse, and with 3D advertising coming into play, that's something that is going to be launched on Roblox as of next year. We see a lot of tailwind for metaverse as an opportunity in itself. Now, in terms of our thesis, we believe that metaverse and GameFi projects are primarily going to be built using 3D models, or we call it as 3D assets and experiences, because the current Web 2 is built on 2D models, 2D experiences, so to say, and then the Web 3 is primarily being built on a more immersive layer, which is of which 3D models become the basis. However, we've kind of identified the problem that metaverse and GameFi projects today are unable to provide immersive 3D experiences for the next billion players. It is there. We go on Decentraland Sandbox. Even Meta, for that instance, had launched, but I think it's a space that is evolving. And for a world that is going to be primarily based on immersive experiences, it is currently not there yet. So our thesis at Signa X is to see how we can enable and fast track this development of more effective, more immersive 3D models. I think the key challenges why this is happening today is there are limited in-house teams for a lot of these gaming and metaverse projects. So there are hardly 10 to 15 3D creators who are in the team. If they need to scale to thousands of assets and experiences, because the number of players are exploding, but the experiences are currently limited, or the assets are limited, and therefore the cost of these assets is quite high. And that's also in turn prohibiting newer players from entering these gaming projects as gaming worlds as well. This is happening primarily because of limited in-house teams of the gaming and metaverse projects. They also have lack of access to skilled 3D creators because it involves a lot of detailing and experience in order to develop these 3D models, there is currently a lack of access. So that is one of the key problem statements. And the other problem is that there is a lack of clear monetization path for some of these 3D creators in the metaverse and Web3 worlds. So if you see, the problems are on both sides, and that's something that through Signa-X we're planning to tackle. Signa-X is the 3D asset, and asset creation and leasing platform for the metaverse and gaming worlds. The way we are doing it is we are working on bespoke 3D asset creation for all these metaverse and gaming projects through our creators. And we're also curating some of the assets, 3D assets, which can be used in these metaverse and gaming environments. The process is quite simple. We partner with a metaverse or GameFi project. Then the request is posted on the platform, which goes to our creators. They then pick up the project and start building custom 3D assets as per their requirements. And these assets are minted on chain and transferred to the respective project. So we are doing some innovations in the space of minting and leasing, because currently there's a whole conversation around interoperability of digital assets. That's something that we're also trying to solve through Signa-X, where we are not only building the 3D models or the 3D assets, but also bringing them on chain and seeing that they can be used in different environments, different blockchain protocols as well. In terms of some of the digital assets that we're creating are characters, power-ups, utilities, and environments as well, like virtual lands, virtual buildings, in terms of development and all of that. These are some of the key types of assets we're working on. In terms of the business model, we have multiple revenue streams. So we are quite a scalable platform to the extent that projects come in and share their requirements and the creators work on them directly. But also we have a list of fees that I want to cover quickly in maybe 30 seconds. So there is a minting fee that happens whenever a creator uploads their assets. Whenever a creator translates their 3D model into an NFT, there is a sort of minting fee. Even if a project wants to transfer an NFT, for 3D model, there's a minting fee. There's a leasing fee as well in case some of these, creators want to lease out their assets and not necessarily sell them. And then there is a marketplace fee as well, where if the assets are sold through the platform, there's a fee for that. And we've introduced a facilitation fee for slightly high-end projects where some sort of intervention, project management intervention is required. We don't get involved directly into the project, but we assign a dedicated manager to kind of help the projects work with the creators. And then there is a finder's fee. In case projects want to directly work with the creators, we also help them out with that. And yeah, these are some of the screenshots of the platform. In this we've covered pretty much a few things like linking of wallets, minting of assets, but this is just one segment of it. But it does not have it does not show the interface that we've created for 3D creators as well. And then, yeah, in terms of key traction, we've raised pre-seed funding from BFG. We've onboarded 200 plus 3D creators from across 10 plus countries, and we've received early interest from different kinds of players, such as GameFi projects, fashion multiverse, and even a metaverse platform to kind of jointly develop 3D assets and experiences for these platforms. And in terms of working with different creators, we've had some amazing experiences of creators from different and diverse backgrounds that we're working closely with. On this note, we'll just sort of summarize the entire presentation with the kind of vision that we have. We want to work with 1,000 plus metaverse gaming projects, metaverse and gaming projects, and provide in-game and digital assets for almost over 200 million players in the next few years. So yeah, on that note, we'll pause and thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much. Very impressive, super exciting topic. And I think you're hitting the right angle to approach the problem of everybody wants to go and have a great experience on some kind of metaverse, but someone also has to do the decoration. Let's put it like that. One question, can you tell a bit about how the landscape looks like when it comes to how all the Decentralands and gaming 3D virtual worlds operate today, and where they get their assets from today, and what the competition could look like?
Yes, thanks. So, Sandro, thanks for the sort of comments. In terms of Decentraland, Sandbox, Roblox, these major metaverse environments that we metaverse worlds that we're talking about, they have their own sort of formats for creating these 3D assets and experiences, and they are today sourced from various gaming studios who are onboarded as creators on the platform. So it's kind of expensive because a lot of these gaming studios employ large resources in putting together these experiences, and therefore the cost of even buying a car or a small land or a building or through these marketplaces is quite high. It ranges anywhere from as little as $300 to it even goes to $30,000. So that's something which is not feasible for an average player to enter the metaverse per se. So yeah, I think that's where there's a whole movement that is coming around. Even what we're also looking at is the next set of metaverse projects and games. So traditional Web2 games who want to enter the Web3 world and make themselves as a play-to-earn game. We are providing that layer of a marketplace to them as well, where our creators create some of these in-game experiences for these projects, and they can also list it through our platform. So we're kind of working on that kind of segment as well. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And one follow-up question: would you more focus on the kind of the matching part, like a Fiverr.com for the metaverse, or more like on the payment and settlement and royalty fee layer? Do you have a preference?
Yes. Yeah. So I think the matching part is only the entry point into the platform. But I think at the core, we are a Web3 platform where there's a lot of innovation that is going on in terms of not only like bringing these assets on chain into the so one is bringing them on chain and even dispersing leasing out these assets. So we've integrated the ERC 4907 protocol through which some of these creators can directly lease out these assets. So it becomes a very clear monetization opportunity for the creators in a Web3 format.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, also a question from my side. Maybe I'm a little bit obsessed with competition today, it seems, yes. But also in your case, yeah, because I think it's always important to have like these things on your radar in terms of like kind of the threat level coming forward kind of direction, especially since we're in early stage mode, right? A lot of these companies, they already have a lot of funding. So the question is always to what extent are these like features they can enter their platforms? Like, so how likely is it that they could move into certain areas, certain features, and how fast could they do so? Like, I think this is one of the reasons why we always care about the competitive landscape. How do you look at it from your perspective? Because there is a lot of like NFT marketplaces with lots of funding and firepower. I mean, if we talk about the gaming space, obviously one company invested in ourselves, which is Venly. There's not from the US called Fractal. It's from the ex-founder of Twitch after he had an exit. So he founded that one. I saw that they recently integrated games, which is quite insane. I think most people don't know this yet. So if you go on Fractal, you have 3D games that you can experience in browser, which is kind of a new trend or technology itself. Who do you think comes closest to what you're building? Like, who are you most afraid of at the moment?
Yeah, so I'll tell you about the types of competition that we have today, and currently indirect, and I will come specifically to competitors as well. So there are three kinds of entities who we indirectly compete with. One is the freelance platforms, as you would call it, the Fiverr or the freelancer.com or whoever. They have access to some of these 3D creators today, but they're currently not curated or rated to the extent where to the quality level of which required to build for a metaverse or gaming world. Then we have the second aspect, which is purely in terms of a marketplace. So marketplace range from 3D models to NFT marketplaces, where it could be Unity Asset Store to even say the traditional NFT marketplaces. So the biggest challenge with these marketplaces are twofold. One is that the lack of curated assets for metaverse and gaming environments, because these are just some creations created by these 3D creators and put out there. It could range anywhere from digital artwork to some sort of model which came out of a figment of their imagination. So these assets are not for a better word, relevant, as relevant for a metaverse and gaming, project, and the fact that they're also not very scaled. So these are all, one size fits all kind of an, asset which really doesn't add value to that. And then finally we also look at
and also Benjamin, on the marketplace side today, if you have a look at it, it's more of a YouTube model, right, where people upload these assets and the discoverability is very difficult. Like someone has to come and check. But here we are bridging that gap where we are partnering with specific metaverse and gaming guilds to channelize the demand as well. And that is where we are seeing this motivation from creators to join our communities, because let's say we are the Netflix where we are curating and giving, rather than being a YouTube where someone uploads their asset on this Unity Asset Store and they hope and pray that someone will look at it and probably buy. So that's the demand supply matching which we are focusing on.
And finally, there are these gaming studios and as well, which are more of an agency model that we don't relate to. So I think these are the three different types of people who are in a similar space. But where we come in is the fact that we are taking a sort of a comprehensive look at the ecosystem and trying to solve the problem specifically for the metaverse and gaming worlds with the element of Web3. I think that is definitely missing in, say, a freelancer model or a freelance platform or even a gaming studio today.
Cool. Very last question from my side. How did you develop the solution so far? Is it only you? Who's having that more technical role? With whom are you collaborating with?
Yeah. So Adhikar, serves as the CTO, and he's kind of built the MVP till date. It's actually a live platform where all the creators are working on, and there are projects already onboarded. Would be happy to show a demo sometime. Yeah.
Cool. Very, very nice. Let's keep in touch, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. I think now it's my turn. Thank you everyone for joining this pitch event. Again, we will have this pitch event every month from now on. If you are interested to join our event, then please feel free to follow us on social media so that you get to know when we do these events. If you know interesting startups, or if you are someone who also wants to ask challenging questions, feel free to reach out to me and my team, because we can then staff you on and consider you to invite you to these events. Thank you for everyone's time. And again, if you want to be connected with one of these startups, let me know and I can connect you or let anyone from my team know. And without any further ado, thanks and see you next month.